You've eaten Gotham's wealth, its spirit, but your feast is nearly over.
This isn't a blood hole. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon. Why aren't you laughing?
From this moment on, none of you are safe.
Welcome to the Batman Book Club, a podcast exploring the Dark Knight Library. I am your host, Ryan Lauer. The Batman Book Club is a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by Batman on Film. Just go to batmanonfilm.com, click on podcasts, and you'll find the Batman Podcast Network that has a whole list of other Bat-related shows that also like to dive into other nerdy subjects that all of us love to frolic about in our free time. The Batman Book Club is also on Patreon, so if you like what's going on with the show and you want to help support the show, keep the generators running on the Wayne Manor study, just go to patreon.com/thebatmanbc. Now, thank you for listening to episode 237, Batman in May. Another month has come to a close, and this is our fourth Batman in May episode. I say we because, as always on these wrap-up episodes, I have a partner in crime. He's an Italian, and lately he has been an honorary Hoosier. It's Peter Verra. Peter, hello.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
Hi, Peter. I'm doing good. I have a couple things that I want to get to that you don't know about this yet. But first off, quick some housekeeping. Going to talk on the past and the future. In the past, the last episode, we only had one episode before this month, but it was with one of my favorite Batman writers of all time, the legendary Steve Englehart. He was on this last episode. Awesome conversation. Never thought I'd get to talk to him. I did, and he and I are going to reconvene later this year to talk some more of his Batman stuff. So if you haven't listened to that episode, I highly recommend it, not just because it's my show, but just to hear Steve Englehart talk about stuff he was doing 50 years ago, which, wow, that he still has that fresh in his mind. Good for him. Great stories. And then next month is a big anniversary month. Gonna be talking what I always like to do on anniversaries of Batman movies and events is do adaptation talk. So the Batman Begins comic adaptation, 20 years ago it came out. The writer of that, Scott Beatty, he's going to come back on this show. The last time he was on was January of 2021. So he's going to come on to talk about that and the whole process of how that goes down. First time I'll ever get to do that, because as we know, Danny O'Neill handled a lot of the adaptations and comics in the 90s, and sadly you don't get to talk to him. And then also Batman Forever, 30 years, 30 big ones. Pete, did you know this was 30 years of Batman Forever?
No, I thought
no,
it came
not
out
at all. Okay,
recently because so many toys have been re-released for Batman
Yeah.
Forever. So it's like 1995 all over again.
Oh, wonderful. The sheriff of these here parts, the adaptation reporter, my guy, Ryan Haas, he's going to come on and talk about that. So make sure you come back next month and check those out. And then secondly, Peter, I just talked about patreon.com. The most recent patron, Leo Lancaster. Once again, thanks so much for supporting the show. Well, he messaged me, and you're involved in this, Pete.
I'm involved in this.
You're involved in this, yes. So he
can only
thanked
be
me
negative.
for the shout out in a previous episode, and he said, "I just wanted to let you know something that happened to me the other day. There I was, smoking meat. I was at that particular time flipping the meats for optimal texture and consistency when I heard a familiar voice from behind me say, 'Don't overdo it, my son.' As I turned around, I saw the spirit of Peter Verra nodding at me with approval as he slowly turned invisible."
Okay.
And then he thanked us for inspiring him to read more Batman. He loves the show, loves talking Batman, but I loved flat out that he was smoking some meats and he thought of the best meat smoker I know, Peter Verra.
Yeah. Very flattered. Thank you for thanking me while you flip your burgers.
Optimal texture. What is that? Break it down for the non-grillers, the non-smokers.
Well, you know how a burger looks, right? It's got little nooks, it's got little crannies, it's got, every once in a while there's a little piece of something that's hanging there, it gets a little charred up, gets a little crunch on there. So I imagine, there's little pockets of juice throughout that burger. Anyone who's not a weirdo vegan knows what I'm talking about.
He did not hold up a sign that said Minnesota. Pete did not hold up and
No,
point towards someone in Minnesota.
I wasn't
Okay, I
even
swear.
attacking him there.
No.
That was
Okay,
actually
that's
that
coming.
had nothing to do with Wado. But since you've got him on the mind, we can just insult him real quick and get out of the way.
There you get it out of the way. So you can focus on Kowalski. That'll take up most of the time.
That'll give me 15 minutes.
There you go. Okay.
They'll be mentioned. Don't worry.
So again, Leo, thanks for writing that in, and anybody else that has some, if Pete shows up when they're cooking this summer, because summer is upon us, let us know, because Pete,
The summer of meat.
he's the man. He's the man by the meat. So, all right,
That's so weird.
enough meat talk. Smoking meat, all that, yeah. Oh boy.
Move on.
Let's move on to talking about a man.
People were like,
in
"This was the different
suits.
BBC broadcast I was listening to."
Or for some, this is exactly what they were looking for. All right, let's talk about Batman comics that released in May. The first Wednesday, because they moved that Batman comic now to the end of the month for some reason, Peter.
Yeah, thanks.
We have no Batman comics again, like Batman centric in the title comics that come out the first week of each month usually. So let's skip to the second week and let's start this party with a bang. Speaking of Batman Forever, let's talk Absolute Batman number 8. You can go first. You can keep it as brief as you need to. I think we know what.
I'm good. I'm just good.
You're good? Okay.
Yeah. Just move on.
Pete's not the biggest fan of this. I will say for this one, I didn't like last month's issue. Didn't care for this take of Mr. Freeze. I'm trying to upload it right now real quick to see if Dragotta was the artist on this one. I think he returned. No, he's not on this one. That's right. It's Marcos Martin. Obviously Scott Snyder's writing this. I kind of liked this issue just in the sense of looking at it through like a horror comic. I kind of dug that aspect of it. I thought that part was kind of fun. It had some interesting layouts and art and stuff like that. It different than usual Mr. Freeze stories, of course. Not better than other Mr. Freeze stories, but I actually kind of like the horror frozen zombie kind of stuff. That part was kind of fun. I don't know, whatever Bruce and his friends that are going to become enemies and the Matches Malone Memorial and all that, I just kind of glossed over. And then, of course, it teased at the end that somebody grabbed Way because, it's cool to shorten a name, not just say Waylon. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen to him, Peter. But then they they just kind of preview it next month. Absolute Batman Universe's Bane is coming. So I'm sure.
So not looking forward to it.
Going to be very exaggerated. If Bruce is this exaggerated, and we've already seen, like we saw the cover of Bane of Absolute Batman number 9 released when it was done, I don't know, a month or two ago. He's exaggerated, and yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see what's coming with that. But to me, it was a little improvement over last issue, but still don't love this series. So you don't have to say anything, Pete. You already did. You're good.
It sucks.
Fine. We can move on. Okay.
Just to make it official.
All right, there you go. That Pete's words.
That's as much as I could say. I can't say.
We can move on. Then the next issue. It's only up from here, right? Batman and Robin number 21. So you can kick us off with this one then.
Yeah, I just again a wonderful Batman story. Batman, Robin, detective work, real Batman. Even though he's fighting like a weird ghost thing, it's weird when Batman acts like Batman. I feel like I love it. Call me crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Just a double fanboy me. I love when Batman acts like Batman. Yeah. So that's which is basically the thread for the rest of the month. You're like it only goes like, yes, we literally started in the 7th layer of the sewers of hell, and now we've at least reached the surface. So yeah, I just again I it's weird because it's not a traditional Batman story that I think I would like, right? Like this villain is kind of far out there, but again, Johnson is just a hell of a scribe. I don't know. The book's beautiful. It's got an orange. I feel like it's mostly got like an orange filter through it, kind of. It's more along the lines of that kind of color. But yeah, I know it's a wonderful Batman tale.
Much like last month, moments that I had to like pause to try and remember what I've read in previous months and connecting the dots and like the flashbacks and stuff.
That's every
It,
month.
yeah, and so I mean that's not to say that's Johnson's fault by any means. It's just to me, I just keep getting it a little. I just keep getting a little confused. I
Well, to be
think
honest, it's
so.
actually your fault because you
It's my
make us read
fault.
so many books.
That's true. Yeah, I have Pete read a series that he does not like, and it just muddies up the waters of all the other comics. But when this is collected, I think I'll pick it up and I'll read it, and it'll be a lot fresher for me because I just don't, for the month, I don't have the time to go back and reread all of Johnson's issues before the new one. But yeah, credit to the art, Javi Fernandez, like you'd mentioned. I really dig that. Carmine Di Giandomenico did the opening with the orange and flashback stuff, which I think is cool. So art's not, I'm not even gonna say a problem with the story at all. Art just hasn't been an issue for me. It's they've looked good. I've really liked them. The
It's
story
a
I just
great
keep
cover too, by the way.
yeah. Oh, I think the cover's awesome. Um,
I wish it was. I honestly wish it was clean without the word mark because I'd love to see what Batman's face really looks like. We only kind of see his jawline, but
mm,
still a
I have
fantastic
to
cover.
yeah, I'll have to look up his maybe on his one of his social media handles.
I wonder if there's like a
Um,
variant, Texas variant.
Yeah, because I mean, Javi Fernandez with Marcelo Meolo did the cover. I don't know, maybe because sometimes they'll do I don't know naked covers where there's no title or words or anything, so you can see the full
They
picture.
call
So
him. I thought they called him textless.
maybe that too. John Sumarivo, and he was on here, or he told me before because I got one of his
Interesting.
covers. He's like, "You got the naked one." I was like, "Yeah, I sure did."
Yeah, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I do. But anyways, overall issue, like no complaints other than just partially my own, and that I just get a little confused. So this story's been a lot of fun.
Hmm.
Wrapping up the second arc, also that week, Batman Dark Patterns number 6. Oh, buddy,
This thing
the
was a
old-
blast.
the voice of the tower finale.
Yeah.
Um, Copy paste what I've said previous months. We'll get to the art first. I love the art of this. I love
Hmm.
the layouts.
Hmm.
It looks great. It's full of I don't know energy. I think every page, start to sound very pretentious, Peter. It really delves deep into the mind and the soul. That. I just really dig the look of this thing, and then the pacing from Dan Waters. So Hayden Sherman on art, Dan Waters scripting, pacing, like one complements the other, right? So the story just moves right along too. I think it delves in and out of like some elements or horror elements. I love horror comics. I love horror, obviously. So I think this is really cool. And Scarface has never been, as I've said before with you, my, I'm drooling for another Scarface issue. It's like, oh, okay, I guess Scarface. But this has been really cool and how it corrupts a whole, apartment building and Batman's just deep in it, and then what happens to Arthur Wesker and how he fits into this. I just thought this was a great 3 issue story.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. I was Scarface is a villain that when he's used, you're kind of cautious, and like
Yes.
Waters has been pretty brilliant at it in this issue. I kind of like how it seems like Scarface is almost like in everyone, and
Hmm.
for some reason, like the
Yeah.
visualization of that doll brings it out, and it just kind of takes over if there's like something deep, dark in there. It's kind of cool to think about Scarface because now I've seen several different Scarfaces. There's a Wesker. I mean, there was the blonde chick 1 year
Dini's
later.
run.
Yeah, briefly around
Yeah.
there. And now you kind of see it happen, like go from one to the other here, and then
Hmm.
everything like with the apartment building that water. I keep it on a cord here. Everything that Waters does with his with the apartment building and all that influence. It's kind of crazy. It's almost like that Carl Urban Dread movie. Remember that?
I haven't watched that. You've told me I need to.
It's kind of like this in a sense. Like you could kind of see,
Yeah.
like I could see like Waters was like, "That's a badass idea. Let me try to incorporate Batman into it." And he did his own thing.
Done.
So check that out. There's a little bit of that in there. Um,
What was your exposure to Scarface?
Animated series.
Animated series? Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm curious if that was mine. It was that or Nightfall trade paperback, like the first volume trade that I got, where you had Wesker and the sock and he was with amygdala, or,
Mm,
that was kind of my exposure of like, what is going on here? So it's
yeah.
probably like a back and forth of the two.
I always
And
like, I don't know, like sometimes I feel like Scarface could make a potentially cool movie villain because he's kind of like
oh yeah,
mafioso, but it's psychological. Like, you need the right guy to pull it off. I think it would be cool.
I mean, Mattson Tomlin brought him into Imposter, at least Wesker. Did he? He didn't do
Mm.
Scarface, it's just Wesker, right?
Wesker.
Did okay. Um, there's a way to do it that could be really creepy, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, this is a fun arc. I'm curious how they're gonna collect this when they release it. If they're gonna do like two trades with the first two arcs, and then the next trade is, the other two arcs, or if they'll wait and collect it all in one. I hope it's all in one because it's supposed
Hmm.
to be 12 issues, unless it does so well that they expand it. I don't know. But I'll be getting this collected for sure. Moving on, the third Wednesday of the month. Pete, this is your book, Detective Comics, number 1097.
Yeah.
Tom Taylor, and we'll get to the art as soon as it loads for me. Garbett. I don't know Garbett.
I have to get to the first page.
Yes.
I don't know where the
I'm
credits
flipping through
are.
it. I don't know. We can talk about
We'll
the
get to it. But no, this is here we go. Lexi Lee. Sorry,
Lee
wrong.
Garbett.
Lee.
Elixir, part one. Lee
Lexi.
Garbett. Lexi Garbett.
I remember Lexi.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. I was at Delilah's last night.
Hey, all right.
This is just a really interesting thing here that Taylor's doing because I was a little concerned last issue. Fake Blade popped up, and I have no idea what this guy's doing. I still know really
Yeah.
what's happening. But there's kind of like this whole secret society thing going on, and they kind of the way that Taylor intertwines Bullock and Batman in and out of it. It's
Yes.
great. That's a fantastic part of it. You get some Bullock flashbacks. Artwork's beautiful. It ends on a banger, which I didn't see coming. It was cool to kind of see Oracle and Batman get outsmarted here. I don't like seeing it often, but it was kind of cool to see. Like every once in a while Batman should get stumped. He gets him motivated. He
Yeah.
gets him pissed off, right? Like, come on now. Like this way he comes back better than he was last time. So yeah, I'm all for that. Again, I love corrupt police officer, like, and just that whole thing. And I don't, Lauer, this is, I mean, that's just Batman, that's Batman, right? Like, I'm just
And
saying,
he's Batman.
that's Batman
Like he's
being Batman, right?
Batman doing Batman
Right.
things.
Okay. Just make sure he's not fighting gigantic Sub-Zero. Okay. Thanks.
No, it's Batman doing Batman
Yeah.
things.
Batman doing
He's
Batman
got
things. He's not friends
the
with the villains.
I mean, you can go to year one. The basis of Batman is, fighting crime, which includes corrupt police officers. So
Yeah.
you got that, you got the mob, you got the freaks. Like
Yeah.
Batman taking on any of them, and it's like I'm in. There we
Yeah.
go. And
Yeah.
that's what he's doing in this story. I mean, speaking of, we just talked about the animated series, but Bullet for Bullock. I Bullock is one that, like, yeah, he can be like gross and kind of scuzzy, but like deep down he actually is a good cop. But he is if anything else, he's a good cop. He is a good guy in that regard. And I do
Mhm.
like the rarities when it is Batman and him working together.
It's
And
a good dynamic. It's a very good
yes.
dynamic. I think they balance each other out well. They
Yep.
don't really like each other, but they
Yeah.
need each other. It creates for good storytelling. It just does.
Yes. I
There's no
agree.
real shock value here. You're not trying to impress me with some bullshit.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I was very happy with it. I really dug this issue. And then, of course, the tease on that very last page, of like what's
oh,
coming. I'm
dude,
like,
when
Peter Verra, here you go, boy.
Tommy knows what I like.
He's doing this for you. He
That's
took
right. Well,
he
he
took
should
on
be.
the detective assignment. It's like, I need to please Peter.
Well, I mean,
And
it
then
made me suffer through Rom's Run, which was dreadful.
and then once he got back, he heard this last page was something else. And then he heard last month that you were like, I'm a little down. He's like, oh, I gotta win Pete back. I gotta win him back. So he
And
brought back
how does
he
he
brought
do
back
it?
your boy.
He brought him back.
Wah,
He's
wah, wah,
there.
wah.
He's not dead. Let's just put
No,
it that way.
he's back. All right.
Even though DC likes to kill him a lot lately.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I don't get it.
We'll just kill
Um,
people off, write comic books. We'll bring them back. We brought back Jason Todd. Everybody can come back.
Yeah, sure. Um, is that too loud? Can you even hear that? Somebody decides to do yard work right outside my door. I don't know if you can pick it up on Zoom or not. No, they just went off. Great. Okay. Thank you, Zoom. let's talk. Let's see. Mm, I'll just go in order of how I sent you the list. So also that we're gonna group them: Batman, Superman, World's Finest, number 39, and
Yeah,
then
we should just do it back to
also
back.
Justice League Unlimited, number 7. This is
Mhm.
all part of that first All-In Initiative crossover. The first one, We Are Yesterday, parts 4 and 5. Uh, I know, like last month, I actually liked and dug the World's Finest issue, and then Justice League Unlimited, I was very lost and kind of just not feeling it, and was a kind of more example of my interest wanes the further all of DC it gets. When it's more contained, I have like I don't know. I'm more interested. And then when it
Mm.
goes more bonkers, I lose interest. Only ones like I've told you as far as like Blackest Night, DC's my favorite DC event that I was all in on all of it, and that was massive.
Yes,
I
it
could
was.
follow that one. Loved that one. But
That's
as far as
special.
like
Shout out to
here,
Jeff.
Jeff Johns, go here. Yeah, I don't at this point I kind of don't even know what's going on. I was just along for the ride and like this is fun. And the bouncing back and forth of you have a young Dick Grayson and then a Nightwing Dick Grayson and then Batman in the past, Batman in the present, and
There's three Robins,
uh,
by the way, just so you know. There's also you just
there's
named
another
two.
one.
There's another one.
Okay,
For me, like, look, I'm with you. It's a little zany. It's a little crazy. I'm kind of all for it because it's very Batman oriented. But
sure.
you could see that this is really the second time we've gotten a little bit of extra all in. Like they mentioned Uxis. Shout out to Uxis. They mentioned the Rift and the all in special. So like we're seeing the ramifications of that. That's going to play into a bigger part. And then this is only the first part of like crossing over with what we'll see with Absolute and different universes. But I kind of dig this. To be honest, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's not the greatest story being written, I think, on either side, because I think sometimes it does get sloppy and confusing, but I think it's
Yeah.
fun. As far as, cartoon zany Batman, I can get into something like this because it's involving multiple Robins and stuff like that. And so far it's cool. I'm a big Grodd guy too, so that's fun. Not perfect, but enjoyable. I could say that about both of them. But I'm with you. World's Finest was a little bit better than Unlimited, but I think they're both very good.
I did love in the World's Finest issue the Scarecrow stuff. I love the design of
Mhm.
Scarecrow. That's totally influenced by animated series. And Sinestro too, like bouncing back and forth between those two. I thought that was a lot of fun. So that was definitely the highlight for
The
me
Death of
of
Superman
both.
reference in I
Yeah.
think it was the other book was a really cool thing for me, and what Superman says about it. And
Yeah, and it kind of hit too, where he's kind of for him is like, holy shit, really?
this hasn't happened yet.
Oh God. Oh damn it.
He
Yeah.
doesn't know.
Yeah.
It's kind
Wow.
of cool.
Yeah,
So
so
there,
that I
there were some
mean,
cool moments there, I thought.
I agree. So um I said it last month for the I think Jay Yaws and Kowalski definitely will get a lot more out of like this story than I
Oh
do
yeah, Troy
because
Chess
they're
Batman.
they're the whole
Their
DCU. They love the whole
superpowers.
DCU. Yeah,
Yeah.
they love that, and I think this is a story kind of more tailor-made for them. But I'm glad that you're getting fun enjoyment out of it too.
No, it's definitely fun. Yeah, it's look, I'm never be like, that's the best Batman ever, but like, I definitely prefer, if we're doing even stories about what are supposed to be more fantastical villains, like what Kennedy's doing in Batman and Robin is more
Hmm.
along my alley. But like I guess I can enjoy it. It's
Yeah,
it's fun, it's entertaining.
like
There are certain characters in it that I like a lot, like, such as Grodd. He's a very centered point of this storyline, so that helps.
yeah.
There's,
Well, and like I said
I
before
love Gorilla
too,
City, man. I hope there's some
with
Gorilla City in there.
with Wade on World's Finest and how it's it's up and down for me, but I'm all right with it because we're getting other Batman doing Batman things issues. This
Yeah,
isn't the only version of Batman we're getting, so therefore it's like, sure, why not do something different? Because that might draw somebody else in. We had a month off, but
we did.
then Wade wrote, he's also writing something for me. So the
Oh,
last
okay.
story was for Jay and Justin. This one's for you and me. Batman
Okay.
and Robin Year One, number 7. Yeah, the issue didn't come out last month for whatever reason. Just took a month off, but they're back on it for this month. Um, I, Spoiler alert, Pete, I love it.
Yeah, it's great, man. Again, it brings me back to like I've always wanted like a kind of a vintage feeling a Batman Grayson story,
Yeah.
but the writing and the artwork back then is just a little dated. It just is just something a little bit more modern, and I feel
Hmm.
like this is really delivering what I've always wanted. And it just feels like a classic Batman tale. I just
Yeah.
I love the kind of the growing pains of Dick Grayson, and I love the struggle that it is just overall Dick Grayson. Like he's got this social worker up Bruce's
Yeah.
ass. Like that's kind of that's cool. I don't know. That just it should it just seems like it's that's the way it should be. You know?
I'm trying to see what the actual lineup was. I had to take a punch point blank for cover.
Yeah,
Like I don't know, like that's cool
he knows
in
what
the
he's got
sense
to
of,
do.
yeah, it's a learning process. I
Hmm.
mean, because as we see too of when they write stuff for Bruce that he's got to do similar things too. He's got to make an ass of himself and take a few punches as Bruce Wayne, knowing he could flat out dodge it and beat the shit out of whoever, but he can't to help sell, to sell it, help sell it. So there's that, and enter Clayface here. This General Grimaldi, I like how his grip, like a newly created mob kind of character. And he's got a good presence. I think Chris Samney continues to do like awesome pages, like the one full page spread of the two of them, the dynamic
Dude, I
duo
was just
jumping
gonna
off the
say,
roof,
is there
and
anything more Batman and Grayson than that? Like he's
Robin flipping
literally just
back, looking right into the camera, like, "Hey,
yeah, smiling, having a good time, doing some sort of circus move while Batman is
yeah,
literally just focused predator straight to the mission. Like the dynamic of Batman and Grayson, it would always be special to me, especially as Batman and Robin,
yeah."
and for years, man, I've been begging for something like this. And
This is
I'm
great.
yeah.
It's
Because
great.
I love going back and reading the old stuff. Like I've got the what is it, Chronicles?
Yeah.
I've got the archive editions. I've got the Chronicles. I have that stuff. I got there's a little sprinkle of that in Denny and Neil. But like it's current writer again. It's Wade, so
Yeah.
it's not no slouch. Like it's just kind of like everything I've really wanted,
It-
and the artwork's absolutely amazing and beautiful.
yeah.
It's this may be the perfect Batman book,
Whoa.
right?
Big words. I mean, yeah, I don't have complaints.
A little more Gordon.
So you just talked about the Chronicles, and I do too. I have those too, and I've said on here probably before, it's hard to binge read those. You're just talking about writing from the 1940s. The art isn't as sophisticated in at that time either or anything. So it can be kind of tough to just read those. So I like updated retellings of first stories. So you take something like this, which is not like this exact story was written in 1940, but um I don't know, it's an updated way of telling it, which to me is just better than the early Robin stuff. So there hasn't been a misfire on this title. I think every
I
issue, and
have
I've really dug.
what's it called? Trying to look at the right title. I'm looking in the stupid library. I can't find anything. Like the Robin archive edition. Like one story is like
Yeah.
Robin's like he's like, the newspaper gang's here. They've stolen the bikes. I've got to get them. It's very like Mimsy.
Come on,
Come
see?
on,
Like he's part of the
see, he's
mob
still
and
gonna
he's
take
gonna
me
be
alive.
Robin.
See, oh, he's just a kid. See, it's like a lot of that. So to get something like this with a little bit more context,
Yeah.
is special.
Where it seems like it's modern but timeless. So you'd think that, I mean, we've said this before, like no way that BTAS wasn't influential on this filter
I
of this
mean,
story.
the way
Like
it
it
looks,
just feels like this is a missing chapter of the animated series. It's
yeah.
I don't
Yeah. I mean, Grayson was a little bit. I feel like he was a little bit older in BTAS. But yeah,
know. Yeah,
I
I
can see
mean,
what you're
could have been
saying.
a flash, maybe I don't know. I don't know. Anyways,
It'll
I'm
fit,
saying the
man. I
same thing,
mean,
but
I don't think you can fight it. It's just that well written. It's just
yeah,
that's what it is.
Mark Wade, you slick son of a
Oh,
bitch.
he's done it again, boys.
Classic Mark Wade. Moving on to the last Wednesday. Now we can talk a little. Batman Hush. Hush
Yeah,
Tua.
Hush
Hush
Tua,
Tua.
Hush Tua. Ooh, Hush
I don't know if
Tua.
have you ever heard of Jeff Loeb or Jim Lee?
Have I
Yes. Oh,
ever?
okay. Um, they're still firing on all cylinders. Last month didn't require a ton of a ton of action. It was good. I
Mm-hmm.
dug it. And again, it was chapter 2 of 12. Calm down, folks. It was like it
You
was
mean we
fine.
don't know the whole story yet?
We don't, and we
I
still
don't
don't
know
after
what's
this one.
happened. I don't know what's going to happen. I've got to
But
sit through these issues.
you have to
I have to read
explore
them.
the story, Pete.
I have to
This
read
was
the story.
this one was firing on all cylinders, I thought. Because it is filling in the gaps of the last issue with Jason in the cave and
Mm.
what Batman suspected of him working with Hush. Well, we do get his interactions with Hush and more context. We see the Bat Cycle in action. I love the flashbacks that Lee did I mean, it's been a common thing. Dini and um, Dustin Wen did it for their Hush stories, Heart of Hush and in on Streets of Gotham. But
Mhm.
Lee did it first in the first Hush. The flashbacks and the looks of those are cool with the sepia tone. Enter Gordon now and shit goes crazy. Like, gosh, Jeff Loeb, he's doing a lot, but it's not overstuffed. It's not overcrowded. I think it's adding to the story itself. It
It's not
ends the issue.
overrated.
I don't think so at all. And I think he adds like he's just adding things that we're gonna piece them together as the story moves
Mhm.
along, but the issue ends, at interesting sections,
Yeah.
of what's going on with Batman, what's going on with um Nightwing and Red Hood with
Mhm.
Joker. I don't know who
Yeah.
this dude is. Is he an original creation? Because he was in the first
I'm
issue.
I'm not sure about this dude or Silver Sable. I'm
Okay.
not sure who she really is either. I feel like she just kind of popped up out of nowhere, but we'll see what happens.
But I thought all
That's
that was cool.
we've got like 10 more issues. I'm sure it'll be explained.
Yeah, yeah, we got some time
A
to,
new ca- two new
ride this out.
characters. Okay, all right, we have new characters. Interesting. That's the only thing I really don't dig is the design of the Riddler. That's really the only bad thing I could
Yeah.
say, because I think it ends on a great cliff note. I love the back and forth with Hood
Hmm.
and Hush in the cave, and then I love how Batman's rewatching the tape and we're hearing what he's having to say as they're saying it. Like I love how they portrayed that.
Yeah.
Um, and I love all the extra details with it when he's like fighting this like voice villain, which I was like, oh, Lee did something cool here. I kind
Hmm.
of dig what he was doing there. Again, and then the stuff with Hood and Nightwing, like it was just a lot of good storytelling. I think it was really compelling because at some point the Joker's got them to a gunpoint. They're fighting each other, and then they're at
Yeah.
gunpoint. Like it's kind of insane. And then Babs looks fantastic. Like that part where she's gliding out of the clock tower, that's awesome. Like that's just
Redheads, gotta love them.
yeah, I mean, I got nothing negative to say about this book other than I'm just not the biggest fan of how they designed the Riddler.
Which we'll get to
But I'm
how
not
he
gonna be like
looks, the way
Kowalski
he
and make
looks,
that
but
ruin it for me, you know?
yeah,
So
I'm
there
just
you go.
I'm
It's
like
30 minutes in. We're 30
I can
minutes.
ju I can judge when the full context is there of because I don't know if it was last issue or this issue where it's referenced about his look and they didn't expand on it, but
I
at
thought he
least one of the
referenced
characters
it on
referenced it.
Twitter. I thought Loeb referenced it. I thought that's what he
Oh,
was.
was that it?
I thought that's yeah.
That's true. He and
Loeb
Lee
or
did
Lee, I
the
think one of
interview.
them did it. And yeah, it was an
Yeah,
interview.
because he'd said it's funny that it's not Riddler in comics. People aren't like complaining that he doesn't look like he did in the Batman. But yeah, if Riddler in comics doesn't look like he looked in another story, then there's a lot of like complaints and criticizing. And I don't know. I don't know. Uh, I'm curious I don't know. I'm with you.
I just want to know if that's a face tattoo like Mike Tyson or if that's just art.
That's true.
That'd be
Yeah,
interesting take. But yeah, like
with
it's
Mike
again, it's not
Tyson.
the worst thing in the world. But again, I don't know. Like it's like we've always said, Ryan. He's wearing green. He's got a cane, and there's
There's a
questions.
question mark. That's
So,
the Riddler. I mean, he's jacked, and that's not our favorite
I
design, but
mean,
it's the Riddler. We saw him, and we knew, right? Yeah, that's
right?
the Riddler.
I mean, he could work out. I mean, Riddler designs are always interesting lately. Haven't you noticed they love giving him chops?
Yeah,
Like chops have been a thing since. Ooh, I think Snyder.
yeah.
Think so.
Hmm.
Because
I'm
like,
trying to
when was the
think.
last like real clean cut Riddler? Was that even
So,
Hush?
I mean, I'm trying to think. Dini's
Oh no, no, what's it called?
Dini had Riddler
The
popped
one
up in
bad
his
day.
detective.
Wasn't he clean cut there?
Yeah,
I think he was. So that's a recent one. But yeah, lately I feel like he's had a lot of facial hair and chops.
I'm thinking like legacy, titles. So you think of Batman and Detective. And I think Dini had him show up in an issue or two on his run in Detective. Pretty hard to
In a
push.
suit. In a
And I
suit.
think
Yeah.
and I think he was clean cut there. I don't know. But yeah,
That's definitely the first thing I
I don't
think of
like
when
the
I think of Riddler.
sideburns. Not gonna lie.
No.
When the big bushy ones and stuff, it's like,
What's your
you're kind
ideal
of dumb.
Riddler look like? What's your ideal Riddler look like?
Um, I think what a lot of people would of the bowler hat, the jacket.
Yeah, I feel like that's my Riddler too. I'm not the
Yeah.
biggest fan of the spandex Jim Carrey Gorson style Riddler. I get
No.
it. It doesn't bother me, but it's not my favorite.
But then
I
also
got an
like
action.
Carrie with though he's in the Phoenix, but he's got a jacket and not the one that keeps him safe, but the other one with the bowler hat.
Mhm.
Like I dig that look.
Yeah.
I think that's what I like the most, but that doesn't mean that it has to be that or else I'll throw a fit.
Right.
So,
Clearly.
because we're I was just gonna say, because we're adults, Peter, talking about comic book. And talking about a man in spandex.
I'm not 12.
That's true. Let's see. That's it for the main Batman book. So it's time for Pete's favorite segment. We're closing the book on a series that you've been higher on than me, but I've been very positive about, and that's Two-Face. Two-Face number 6. It'd
Mhm.
be, I mean, it, I want you to
Okay.
go first on this because absolutely loved this one.
Yeah,
Whole through.
I don't know. It just keeps up more of the same. The things that go on in Harvey's head between him and Harvey and Two Face, and then he's got it's just a cool little mind f. Um,
Whoa,
yeah,
almost had a
and
slip there.
I did. I love the opening part of the book too, between Two Face and Batman. Like there's some cool moments in here, and I like the psychological aspect. And sometimes like Two Face actually does care about somebody as ruthless as he is, and then he doesn't, and he's so screwed up. It's like I just love the deep dive into his head, and then you finally kind of realize like he's just really trapped within his own brain. That's I don't know. It's like a cool psychological thing, and this is also
Hmm.
a great cover because like
Yeah. Oh, that
it,
cover's awesome.
it's an awesome. I would love to get this as a print. Just
Yeah.
having Two Face like come out of the split, like it's really cool. It's so cool. It's second best cover of the month
Behind.
behind Batman and Robin.
Okay. Fair. I'm trying to find it. I thought Batman said it yeah, it's on the first page. Batman says to him, "You've killed people, Harvey." And Two-Face says, "Not me, it was him." And Batman says, "And it was always you that tossed the coin that let him out." Like, man, I really dig that for some reason
Yeah.
because I think it's true. Like it's a great little layer in reflecting on these stories, these Two-Face stories that always have that duality battle of Harvey Dent and Two-Face and everything. It's like, as much as you want to say that that other side is, you know, corrupting him and all that, it's like the good side's still giving him the chance to come out.
Mm.
And I really, really dig that. And that's kind of what this whole 6-issue miniseries was about. Written by Christian Ward and art from Fabio Veras, not Vera, Veras.
No.
Uh, so this was a really good series, and I don't know if it's been announced when it's going to come out collected, but if anybody's missed it and they don't have DC Universe Infinite Ultra, the trade's coming and I'd recommend it.
I
Um,
was surprised how good this was.
yeah, me too. Like I didn't expect it to be crap or anything like that, but it really did kind of wow me.
It was like a
Um,
highlight of my month.
According to Amazon, it's coming out in September. So if you just want to wait and
From Amazon.
just order it all in one, highly recommended. Two-Face Trial Separation is what they're calling it. Coming out in
Trials.
September.
That makes sense. I kind of get that. I
Yeah.
kind of get that.
Yeah. So this is a good one. I'm so if,
Like
if
if Lauer, if
yeah,
your life came out in a trade, if they did like the Ryan Lauer story part one, it would be like Ryan Lauer, the Lauer Standard, Volume
the
One.
Lauer standard, yeah. And
Yes.
each issue or each page would smell like a different type of cereal,
Yes.
I
It'd be
think.
Scotch and Sniff.
I- Carefully. I wouldn't get you on anything like, oh God, what was that? No, it'd be the delicious scents that are always in my domain.
So there's like what tricks,
So
honeycombs, Fruit Loops, Fruity
Peter Verra,
Pebbles.
meat smoker. Was that what yours be? No. I don't know. It'd sell a lot. That's kind of a
I don't.
title that's gonna get all the quadrants of people
Yeah.
like, oh, what is this?
What is
Um,
this?
some will be disappointed, some will be very happy, but they'll all be entertained.
If you say so, as long as it makes a profit.
Would you want it in a comic form or a novel?
What? I'll have my management team figure that out. I'll just
Okay.
write the story.
Would Holzman do the forward?
It's going to be hard writing this
Okay.
and not turning it into a Holzman story.
That's that's true. It's
You know,
it's half the book.
my life revolves around him.
Hmm. And he'll never know that we're talking about him.
He has no idea
So,
that I'm essentially his guardian angel.
I mean, pretty much. You are also Leo Lancaster's guardian angel whenever he's out there grilling. Smoking meats, sorry, not grilling. Let's see. Wonder Woman number 21. This was one that you had me read last month because
Mhm.
there's a detective story happening within the Wonder Woman world, and she brings in the world's greatest detective, no matter what world it is. Uh, this is a really nice two issue story.
Mhm.
Got what I needed out of it. Batman was great. He It's Wonder Woman's book, so she's definitely the star, but he's a great side character in this and helping her solve the mystery, which I think ended up being very um gratifying. It didn't seem like shortchanged or anything. It made sense. It was cool. It was good. And then they have a nice little moment in the Batmobile there at the end too, which
Yeah,
I really love that coloring. Tom
the
King,
purple. Yeah,
Guillaume March on
pink.
art, but yeah, that coloring, oh, that's great. It feels so like 80s to me, like
Very
like a Miami
bowling.
Vice sort of look. But did this meet your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, King's Wonder Woman run in general has really exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
So I really loved it in general. But to get Batman in here for an issue or two, this book definitely leans heavily more on the Wonder Woman side, but that's fine. But when Batman's needed, he comes out and he shines, and they have a great moment, like you said at the end. But yeah, this is, I mean, it's just this is the perfect balance. Like, for those who are so anti, everyone hanging out. I recommend something like this because I think that this is, the prime example of how it can be done and done well.
Yeah. Yeah. Faux
Not
show.
not my favorite, but if it's done like this, I can enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Let's see. Then capping off a nice arc on Nightwing, Nightwing number 126 with Dan Waters and Francesco Francavilla. And you know I love Francesco Francavilla.
Yeah.
I loved this arc. I think the art was great. Just the story itself was nice and contained. It was a breeze of a read, but not, again, like I just said, shortchanged. So I'm going to use that term again. Wasn't shortchanged. It was a nice, I don't know, it was just like a really nice story with fantastic art. I really dug it.
Yeah, it ended strong. Here, look, Waters' run has had ups and downs, but overall it's been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
I kind of like where this is going. I kind of like it's kind of ends on almost kind of open ended.
Hmm.
Um, I want to see. I'm very interested to see where it goes from here because I feel like the story's not really done. It's just a chapter really.
It
You
seems
know,
like it could
I feel like
fit
there's
in
something more.
continuity, or somebody could just pick it up and read it, and
Yeah.
they wouldn't be lost.
As of yeah, I don't know. I also feel like you could pick up and take off from here. So maybe somebody else's. I don't know. But I thought it was cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was nice. It's definitely leans a little bit more to the action side of Nightwing overall. I'd say his line, which isn't bad because I feel like Tom Taylor kind of gave us a lot more like heavy-handed stuff previous on. So it's Nightwing. It hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah. And lastly, on my end, which is like this is a perfect passing it over to yours, is DC and Sonic the Hedgehog number 3. No Uxas this month. It's very Uxas
He
heavy
was
last
mentioned.
month.
He was mentioned.
He's definitely mentioned, but as we would expect, because the cover promises it to us, Sonic and his crew get to suit up as members of the Justice League, and I just thought continuing on that this was a lot of fun. And of course, the highlight to me, runner up, was when Knuckles goes to see Lex Luthor. That was pretty
Yeah, that
great.
was cool.
And then, yeah, the highlight for me is definitely when Shadow dresses up as Batman, drives his own little Batmobile, takes on the Joker in Gotham, doesn't say a word. That oh, great, like 4-page, 3-page sequence for me. That was the highlight.
Yeah,
100%.
I think it's great. It's simple, it's fast, it's definitely for kids, but
It's fast.
it's so
Oh,
wonderful. It's a lot of fun. I actually really enjoyed the Sonic Flash part. I thought that was really cool. But
that was cool too.
everything about the book in general is just a blast. It's it's nice to just see kind of something simple every once in a while. And
So, what's another comic like series of properties that you could see crossing over?
Deadpool.
Yes, I okay, Pete, let's it's not Marvel, it's not DC property, but like S Sonic and DC, Batman and Scooby-Doo. There's more I know, but you get the idea. What's I think and Haas, of course, would love this. Mario Brothers. Don't know how, but I mean, come on.
This is probably gonna sound horrible. No one, I don't know, but I always thought a Batman like Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th thing would be interesting, where
Yes.
Batman like captures Jason or is on, or maybe he doesn't, and it's a murder mystery type deal or something. I don't know how you do it because obviously you can't have Jason kill Batman, so it's like it's
Yeah.
very tricky. But I thought something like that, or maybe a Batman Michael Myers type deal. I don't
Oh,
know,
I'm there
something like
all
that.
day, every day. Oh,
Because
give me
maybe
that.
because then you could just capture Michael instead of having to, maybe Jason makes it trickier because he's a zombie at this point.
Put Michael in Arkham and he just goes crazy and just murders everybody in Arkham and
Or I mean, like,
escapes.
I don't know, maybe it's because you could put Michael probably in more of a city setting, I guess, and it's probably a little bit easier to do than
Yeah.
bring Batman to the woods, right?
You could almost say Freddy, but then it's like they just did that with Night Terrors.
No, I can't.
And it's like, we're done. We're fine.
Yeah,
I don't need
it's
that.
too far fetched for me. I think Michael Myers probably be the one you do because he's human, and Batman could capture him and bring him to Arkham, right?
I would buy that.
So yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Pete, what do you got?
I have got Catwoman
Ooh,
76, which
meow.
is they're doing this really cool like like Catwoman flashback, old crew, somebody's hunting Selena, so she's like reconnecting, and there's all kinds of old drama that's being brought back up to the surface. So that's fun. I like that. And I feel like they are doing these really cool, like Anne Hathaway, like retro, I don't know, covers. Like I feel like Anne
Ooh,
Hathaway's likeness has just been used for Catwoman a lot lately on covers. And I don't know. I don't know how you can tell me that doesn't look like Anne
I
Hathaway on the
gotta
cover.
shell them books.
So yeah, so take that, Pfeiffer. Poison Ivy 33. This series is so good. I've been talking about it forever. I really wish you guys would read it. I hope somebody's out there reading it. It's kind of like, in a sense, I'm trying to think. What was that like it's kind of like almost a WandaVision like take
Hmm.
on Poison Ivy at this point because she's got like this like just I don't know deception secret town type vibe going on. So check it out. It's pretty cool. There's an interesting cast of characters, and it gets pretty like I don't know LSD.
Oh, snap.
It's very like poisoned poison ivy, poison mushroom type deal.
Well,
And then
you said you hope somebody's reading it. Somebody is because they expanded it. 'Cause remember, this was initially, I think, a 6 issue, then got expanded to
it's been
12,
going on
and
for
then got
yeah.
expanded to
I'm
ongoing.
trying to
So,
get more
hey,
people to. It's really crazy, man. Like
yeah,
I don't know what you have against redheads, Ryan, but you should be reading this book.
I don't think I
Um,
do have anything.
that well, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be reading this book.
I can't remember what's happening in Batman and Robin. I don't think I need to add more issues per
Sounds
month.
like an excuse. Anyway,
Okay, all right.
Batgirl 7, really cool stuff, digging deep into the just the history of Lady Shiva and Batgirl and everything involved there. Just it's a cool dynamic seeing her with her mom finally and kind of what they go back and forth. I like the fact that Cassandra can talk a little bit more now, so I think it creates for more interesting storytelling. And it's Shiva's an interesting character, so whenever she pops up, I always feel like she's worth it. I don't think she's ever had like a wasted opportunity in a recent Batman book. I feel like even
Hmm.
Tynion did a good job with her in not too long ago. So I like Lady Shiva. I like when she pops up. It's one of those kind of like warrior based
Yeah.
ninja Batman villains that just kind of never goes away. But she's not, she's always like doing something. She's League of Shadows here. She's messing with Talia there. She's not involved. She's scheming this. She's messing with Batgirl. She's it's just she's always just kind of around Gotham or doing things that just attract bat attention.
And
So
she's sort of like formidable. Like she's a good opponent.
yeah, yeah,
So it's slippery. Um, all right, there you go. That's your
yeah.
all right, that's your all right. I got
Yeah.
one question for you. One more question for
No,
you, Pete.
no, no more,
Yes, you've got a question?
No?
no more.
Too many questions. What was your favorite issue this month?
Oh man, probably Batman Robin Year One.
I hmm. I think the past I don't know what last month might have been last Halloween, which has 2 months off for some reason between issues. So
I think
none this month,
about
none next month, and then July's issue 8, which I think your boy Solomon Grundy's on the cover. Um, I think I'm with you. Batman and Robin Year One, number 7.
yeah.
It was going to be between that and then Batman 160, because Hush, it's like much like the original Hush, it's such a like comfort food Batman story to go back and read.
Mhm.
And I think this one, we're 3 issues in, quarter of the way in, gonna have the same effect so far. Going back and reading it, but I think yeah, as far as issues, just sucked right in, and Batman and Robin Year One, nailing it. So there we go. Woo!
There you go.
There we go. I have to comment again, Pete. We read like 12 issues, and we used to read 30. I like it. I'm not gonna lie. I like it. I'm glad. I'm glad it's a little reduced. And then I think there's next month I believe is uh Godzilla versus Kong versus DC number 2 or whatever. So right when we drop one from Batman and Friends and Two-Face, we pick up another. But I don't know. We'll see. We had fun with the first series.
It was better than it should be. It definitely faded at the end, but
I think so. So I'll give it a shot, and then I'll tap out if I'm not
I still
feeling
enjoyed it more than Absolute Batman.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Remember when you kicked something really hard and you stubbed your toe? I think that was more fun for you than reading Absolute Batman.
What flamethrower to the face? Like, okay, that's great.
That hurts. But a flamethrower to the face is more enjoyable to beat than reading Absolute. I'm just kidding. Don't need to pile on. Pete?
No, the flamethrower to the face is an Absolute Batman.
I know. And that act itself
Uh,
might be more. But anyways, thanks again as always for doing the work. Always appreciate it.
is that a
Busy
Batman
man?
Beyond t-shirt you're wearing?
No, it's the Batman.
Oh, look at that. Check
Yeah.
that out.
I'm an advertisement because I've got the Batman shorts on as well. So
I
I'm
didn't
an
know they made the
advertisement for
Batman shorts. Really?
Yeah, Walmart had them. They're sweat shorts. But yeah, Steve Helm from Texas. I think he's the only one that I know that exactly, or at least told me, that he also got a pair when the Batman was out. I thought it was very random that they popped
works
up.
part-time at the on weekends. He works at the propane station.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Well, these shorts would be perfect for the propane.
So he knows all the details on when everything hits Walmart, Steve, because he's the propane guy there.
All right. Sounds good.
He's like, after you have working propane, we don't do the Walmart, fill it up to just bring car around front.
I'm very happy. That's the highlight of this episode is I finally got Steve Helm on the Batman book club.
He's like, yeah, we're just here. You need our propane tank filled. I just come on down. I just fill that thing, son of a bitch, put it, just pull it around front.
Excellent. All right, let's bring Pete back in here. Pete, do you have anything you want to plug?
Nothing. You could just follow my various endeavors in the world of capes and tights. Straight Outta Gotham, and the Batman on Film, Spider-Man Coalition, and the Batman Book Club. So I'm all over those places.
He's everywhere, people. He's everywhere.
Everywhere.
Follow Batman Book Club on the social media stuff at the Batman BC for latest episode drops, upcoming episodes, and sometimes some giveaways. Like I said, next month going to be some fun episodes as well as in July. Also subscribe to the Batman Book Club YouTube channel because Pete and we jumped into no man's land. We did it. We did it. It's up there. People have listened. People have rioted. People have loved it. I don't know. It's hit all the emotions. That's back up there. We'll be adding more of those throughout this year. So if you want to support the show, variety of ways you can do that. Like I said at the top, patreon.com/thebatmanbc, where you can leave Pete a message about you grilling. tpublic.com, type in TBBC for the Batman Book Club. But if you want to support the show and you don't want to spend any money at all, it's 100% A-OK. Easiest, quickest, most impactful thing you can do is rate and review the show. So however you get it on your podcast feeds, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, just go to the rate and review page and rate and review the show, because the more reviews this show gets, the more it helps spread the word. And as you, me, Pete, and Razagul all know, that word is panic. So for Peter Verra, I am Ryan Lauer, and until next time, read my panic.